Hello and welcome to our training on the PM Tracker. This particular training is for the schedule of values and reports pages. We are continuing our training with our fictitious job for Greasy Food, our Greek restaurant, and we are on our cover sheet. If we click the project management job, we've already entered in a lot of information on this one. We've already had a change order that was approved. We've put that in. We've got our notes, job start date, information about our crew and GC. We've already entered in weekly progress. Now, on the previous training, we've entered actually in more information, but I erased some of it so that we can see how the schedule of values works. Currently, we're only at 56% of our budget completion. Our productivity page, we have green across the board. We're looking pretty good on our profit, although we're behind in some areas. But what we want to talk about is our schedule of values. Now, in the schedule of values, most general contractors are going to require this for billing purposes nowadays. And everyone, although they're similar and have the same kind of information, they tend to be a little bit different, just enough to really screw us up in our billing. But don't worry, because this is super easy. So on our schedule of values, according to our weekly progress, it shows us, and we're going to assume that maybe we're billing weekly, just for the training purposes here. But percent of our budget spent to date. For our material, we're at 80%. Our labor, we're at 41%. And our managerial is 69%. So I've backed this up with invoices, and I've sent my employees out. I can show to a general contractor all of these numbers and prove to them, even though I've got 1,600, almost 1,700 square feet left to set here, I can justify these numbers. And so I'm going to bill for them. So over here, percent complete for this current invoice, I'm just going to type in here, and if I can either use the little up and down markers there. I like to go faster than that. If I just go 0.8 and tab, that puts me at 80%. I'm at 80% of my material. My labor, I might go 0.45 just to get a little more in there. And my managerial, I'm at 0.7. Okay. So what does that do? Okay, well, like I said in the original training, it takes our material budget that we put in from our cover sheet. Our material costs were $8,000. Our labor costs were $7,500. Now those may be affected differently when we add in our change orders, but not for the schedule of values, because our change orders are listed differently, and the general contractors are going to want to see those differently down here. But anyway, so it breaks down those costs. Our schedule value was $8,000 for material, labor $7,500, and managerial $9,500. This is our first billing, so previous completion we had 0. Our current completion, based on our percentages, does our numbers for us. For material, $6,400, labor $3,375, and our managerial $6,650. That's how much we've completed to date, and our balance to finish. All done just by clicking in those percentages. Let's say that our scheduled value for our change order, we got half of it done, so 0.5, and it adds all of that same information: current completion, current completed to date, and balance to finish. All that down here. Then over on our billing scoreboard, lays everything out. Our original contract was $25,000. Our approved change orders, total contract, completed to date. Any less retention, it takes that out. And again, if you're 3%, 5%, 10%, whatever, all you have to do to change that is right there. Total earned less retention is $16,643. Since it's our first billing, our previous invoices were 0. This is our current to date. Now, I've got all this online, and that's great. I can figure it out, but guess what? The program will set this up for us automatically, and it is super easy. All I do is click on the reports button. I click to load the data. Doesn't really do anything, but behind the scenes a lot's going on. I click that once. I come over here, click this, and it loads from the internet an online Excel spreadsheet that you can easily, as long as you have Excel, and if you don't have Excel, we have ways around that too, just talk to us. But all I have to do is click here and then click this button right here, which is paste, and it pastes in all that information. Now remember, in the previous trainings where we saw how to put in our personal company information, that's loaded here automatically for us. And all this information over here to the left, which you don't want to touch, is gobbledygook, but the computer knows what to do with it, because if I click this arrow down here, I have an invoice, and I click the invoice, and all of the information that I have already entered is right here. Tile done right, that's our motto, our company, our address, all of that information right here. This is for the Weeby builders, and and we have all of our information regarding the job, our original contract, change orders, completed to date, retention. All of that information is there and ready to go. And guess what? With my schedule of values, if I come over here, SOV, the schedule of values, same thing. All of that information, all right here, ready to go. If I need to widen the margins so that information shows correctly, that's all I have to do is click on that, and I can submit this to my general contractor, and we'll be good to go. I may have to change a few things like the the schedule value application, billing period. So there are a few things there that I might have to do, but for the most part, all of that information is updated and ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close this one out because now we go to the next week, weekly progress again. So we're going to do the next week, and I don't know, let's just do 160. We had 2,500 square feet, I think, so let's just say 1,500. Materials, 1,000. Labor, we did a little bit better, let's say 3,000 this week. Taxes were 350. Freight, nothing. Finance, nothing. We'll say 150. And 50 on our incidentals. Okay, I'm just making up numbers here. We can take a look at our productivity. We're 97% of the job is done. Actually, let's add 150. So that would be 1,650. So we can just say that we're done with the job and zero everything out. Okay, so we're zeroed out. The only thing we're over here on is our man hours. We're a little bit over on our taxes, and we're at our overhead. Now, let's go to the Schedule of Values tab. Okay, so now I'm billing again. The first thing I'm going to want to do is carry my percentage of completed from the last invoice to previously invoiced. And all I have to do is put in the percentages. I don't have to put in numbers. 0.8, 0.45, and 0.7. And now, since I'm done with the job, I have zero footage left to set. Now this is not saying that what I've actually completed. It's how much of my budget that I've spent. But I have zero footage left to set. I'm done with the job. So I'm going to bill 100%. So all I have to do is click in here, put in 1, 1, 1. I'm at 100% of the job. Okay. Balance to finish is 0. Completed to date, everything's here. I've done my change order, so I punch in, oh no, I need to punch in 0.5 first. Make sure that you do that. 0.5, because that's what I did last time. And now the current completed, I'm 100%. And everything is done for me again over here. My original contract, change orders, total contract, completed to date, still holds out my retention, total earned, my previous invoicing, and if I wanted to put that in here, this little channel here, 1.6. If you're going to be on the job for months and months and months, you could do this. It doesn't actually add anything. It's just for your information. But anyway, it'll still keep track of your total less of your total previous invoicing simply by adding in the percentages. Current due is 9,185. If I want to do an automatic report again, I do the same thing. Click on the big red button, big blue square, click to paste. All that information is uploaded, and again, I can just check out my invoice, and it's all there. Previously invoiced, current due, and I can send him the schedule of values again, and we're ready to go. And if you want to put this into your own personal Excel spreadsheet, you just click this button right up here, and it's going to ask me, do you want to do this? I'm going to say, yeah, I sure do. And it opened it up. Here's my Excel spreadsheet. So now this is in my own personal Excel spreadsheet that I can change and do whatever I need to do with. And that's it. That is how you can do a schedule of values in an invoice quickly, simply, and do it in absolute perfect time. And the one thing again, that the general contractor is not going to mess with your invoice, which they did to us a lot, because again, I can prove, I know exactly how much according to my budget that I've spent, and that I can prove how much I've completed. So that's the project management tool. We've completed all of the trainings throughout, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us, but we think that it's pretty straightforward. Again, thanks for your time.